EA Sports. It's in the game.
Verstappen on the inside! Great start from Lando Norris! Nothing he could do about that!
Pole position.
And with qualifying complete, let's review our top three today. Alexander, Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton. With qualifying wrapped up now, we have our grid lineup for the big race tomorrow. Be sure to join us then for what will no doubt be a fantastic race. The crowd are here, and it's brilliant to see them lining the track here in Albert Park. It's going to be a fantastic day of racing. Welcome, everybody, to the Australian Grand Prix. The Melbourne circuit is certainly one that needs to be taken seriously. It's a combination of slippery surfaces and difficult corners, making it a very tricky track when it comes to overtaking. Drivers find it hard to pass and will need to take full advantage of those DRS zones if they want to have any hope of breaking through. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Alexander lines up on pole position. And it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Verstappen, George Russell and Norris, Sainz, Ocon, Bottas and Pierre Gasly, Ricciardo, Latifi, Kevin Magnussen and Tsunoda, Perez, Mick Schumacher, Sebastian Vettel and Guan Yu Zhou, Albon, and Lance Stroll brings the grid to a close. With preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. Natalie Pinkham joins me once again in the commentary box. It's fantastic to have you with us today. I'm curious though, how do you think the drivers stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, I imagine they'll be starting to feel the adrenaline as they anticipate the rundown into turn one, a bit like preparing to go into battle. The unknown situation will bring nerves, but that's a good thing. It'll keep them focused on the moment and on their surroundings as we build towards the start of the Grand Prix.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down. Behind. Okay, so the gap to the car behind is 1.0 seconds. They're on fresh softs, and the time last lap was a 1:35.2. behind you. OK, the gap is less than a second. They're on fresh softs. Time last lap was a 1 minute 35.2. That's P1. No tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving. Behind is 1.8 seconds. They're on fresh softs. Your last lap time was a 1:28.8. Gap to your teammate behind is 9.7 seconds. Oh, you worked hard for that one. Congratulations, well done.
Well, what a drive that was to take the win for Ferrari today. So, Natalie, what do you think helped them deliver this result?
Well, tyre management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So, being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls, gentle on the tyres, that's where the race was won today.
Here come our winners now, a thrilling race and a tremendous effort by Ferrari. Their history is well known, so it's no surprise to fans the world over to see them come out on top once again. So let's see what effect this result has had on the drivers' standings. And with today's impressive result, Charles Leclerc steps into the championship lead. Let's focus on the driver of the day. Natalie Pinkham, come on, who do you pick?
I have to give it to Alexander. They demonstrated a very delicate touch in close proximity to other cars, as well as showing a lot of maturity and patience in difficult situations.
Let's move on to the constructors, and Red Bull take over as championship leaders. There was also a strong showing from the McLaren team today as they make their way up the standings. Well, that was certainly an exciting weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for more exciting Formula One action very soon.
Our new parts have completed without issue. They'll be on the car ready for the next race weekend.